The Huntingburg City Council holds their first public hearing on the downtown revitalization plan. The Du Bois County Veterans Council prepares to hold a Memorial Day service tomorrow, and Kurt Guxell talks to Northeast Du Bois baseball coach Brian Kirchhoff in sports. Those stories and much more are up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news, last night the Huntingburg City Council held their first public hearing for the downtown revitalization plan. The plan has two goals: to replace the Patoka Lake water main to prevent future damage or failure, and to improve the downtown area based on citizens' ideas to increase tourism. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spenner talks about the process going forward from here and says it's all about seeing what downtown Huntingburg will look like in the future.
And then there's that visioning part of it, is what do we want the downtown to look like in the next 10 to 15 years? And the firms that have been selected to do that will be guiding us in that process. They'll be providing public forums to receive input from the community and really give us a chance to say, we're working from a position of strength in our downtown, I believe. We've got a strong downtown, but how can we make it better? How can we plan for the future to make sure that it continues to thrive and make Huntingburg a true destination, which is something we really have a goal to make that.
The grant will be applied for in early June, giving citizens a chance to call or write into City Hall to express their support for the project. Spenner talks about how citizens can show support for the project and also says those opportunities will be numerous.
We're still seeking the application will be going in soon, so if anyone has any comment that they would like to make as part of the record, they can contact the city office and we can take that in a written form if they would like to submit that to us. Second, should we be successful in the grant, we'll be publicizing a number of public meetings. We'll have a steering committee that will help guide that process. If you're interested in serving in that way, we'd be glad to have you come forward, and we'll consider anyone who wants to do that as well. So there'll be a lot of opportunities in the next 3 to 6 months for that input.
Spenner says the city is confident that they will be successful in getting a planning grant for this project. Anna Steckler, the owner of Cool Beans and a resident who lives along 4th Street in Huntingburg, gave her support for the project during the meeting. Tomorrow, the Du Bois County Veterans Council is set to hold its annual observance of Memorial Day on the square in downtown Jasper. All Du Bois County veterans organizations will be represented, and each veteran who passed away during the past year will be remembered. Du Bois County Veteran Council President Alan Brom says the most special part of the weekend is thanking those who served.
As we go into Memorial Day, what is so special about this? We all need to look back at our parents, grandparents, and how we got here and what they've done. They've served their country, ladies and gentlemen. Really need to thank them for what we've got today, tomorrow, and what the future might bring us.
This year, Linus Vonderheide of St. Anthony will be the deceased veteran honored at the ceremony. Vonderheide joined the Army in 1942 at 22 years old. He trained at Fort Harrison and was assigned to the 1st Division in engaging in combat. He was wounded in the Battle of El Guetar on April 1st of 1943. After recovery, Vonderheide was assigned to the European theater in Sicily and Normandy. He was wounded for a second time in northern France in late June of 1944 and was ultimately discharged from Camp Atterbury in late June of 1945. He ended his Army career with the rank of Technical Sergeant for the 47th Infantry Division. Vonderheide passed away on December 8th of 2006. He was married to Rosetta Welp for 61 years. The couple had one daughter, Sharon Fleck, and one son, Joseph Vonderheide. He also had 4 granddaughters. Vonderheide was a member of the Jasper American Legion Post and the Huntingburg VFW. The event is set for 10 a.m. tomorrow on the west side of the Courthouse Square in downtown Jasper. Brom will be the master of ceremonies for the event, with Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz welcoming everyone, and Dean Durrell will serve as the guest speaker for the event. The event will be held at the VFW Post number 673 along Newton Street in Jasper in the event of inclement weather tomorrow. Other events going on this Memorial Day weekend include, but are not limited to, the ones that are listed on your screen. A shoplifting incident at the Jasper Walmart yesterday afternoon resulted in a Jasper woman's arrest. Jasper police were called to the Walmart on North Newton Street just before 5:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon on a report of a shoplifter being detained. Officers determined that 25-year-old Brittany Fight of Jasper had stolen almost $665 worth of merchandise from Walmart. Fight was lodged in the DuBois County Security Center and was charged with theft. Local police are seeking your help in finding those responsible for vandalism along the Jasper riverfront. Jasper police are asking for the public's assistance concerning an ongoing investigation into vandalism to signs along the riverfront walkway. Police say this vandalism was discovered on Wednesday. A $1,000 reward is being offered for any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the responsible party or parties. Anyone with information is asked to contact Jasper Police at the numbers listed on your screen. This Saturday marks the graduation of the Forest Park class of 2013. This year's graduating class is very strong academically, featuring 7 valedictorians and 1 salutatorian. The class totaled 98 students with talents across arts, music, and athletics. One student will even get the chance to go to art school in California on scholarship. Forest Park High School Principal Jeff Jesse says the scholarships were diverse for this year's senior class.
This year we had a representative from USI. They gave away 16 scholarships, and those are in different amounts. A couple of them were full scholarships, down to various amounts again. But 16, that's a considerable number of students. And then we go from there to University of Evansville, ISU. We got several athletic scholarships. And then from there you have just a number of local scholarships from the community.
Jesse also says this particular class needs a real spirit of entrepreneurship, as it might be difficult for them to be drawn back to the Ferdinand community.
I think several of them have that idea of wanting to come back to this county and either establish their own business or some type of an entrepreneurship or bridging with other companies and helping develop a better workforce in this area. Because this is an aging area, and several companies have recognized that, and they're preparing their own programs to draw graduates back to this area to keep it going.
Jesse says this year's seniors have a wide variety of expected majors at the college level, including fashion design, various forms of engineering, and teaching. The class of 2013 will graduate at 2 p.m. tomorrow at Beekler Arena. During Huntingburg's first city council meeting earlier this month, the city approved the hiring of Rachel Steckler for the newly created Director of Communications and Community Development position for the city. Following our interview with Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner for our most recent edition of Monday with the Mayor, I sat down with Steckler for a short interview about her new job and the unique process involved that led to her getting the job. Talk a little bit about your interest in this job. Apparently you went to the listening sessions last year, and that's what got you started.
I did. Attended the listening sessions and just heard, a number of residents that expressed a concern about the lack of communication between the city and the residents. So that kind of perked my interest a little bit. And then I asked for a meeting with Mayor Spinner and let him know that, that's kind of my background. And I thought that it seemed to be that there was a need and that I could fill the need.
So talk a little bit about the process then from there. What happened from there?
Well, we met numerous times and kind of just talked. He let me know what the city really did need, and then I kind of then would say, what I thought I could do, how I could help, and things like that. And so we kind of developed a business plan, or not a business plan, a job description, and kind of went from there.
So how does it feel? You've been in the job for a few days now. What do you think so far?
I love it. I love it. I actually was excited to get up and go to work this morning. So that's pretty good for a Monday. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Steckler is a Bloomington native who resides in Huntingburg. An Indiana State University graduate with a degree in public relations, Steckler also minored in marketing and journalism. Steckler said she originally wanted to go into the sports field and completed an internship with the Indiana Pacers. However, she said there were few opportunities for sports work in her field in this area. Steckler said she enjoyed her marketing work while working for the hospital, and when this opportunity arose, she jumped on it. Steckler completed her second week of work on the job this week. Yesterday, the City of Jasper hosted Media Day for the Spirit of Jasper train. Local and regional media, including media from Terre Haute and Evansville, turned out for the event. The day featured a short ride up the tracks aboard the train, along with catered food from the Schnitzelbank restaurant and numerous photo opportunities. The train, which is entering its 4th full season in service, will also have a new addition later this year, the Monon car. Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz talks about the new addition to the train and says it will be an exclusive car for the Spirit of Jasper.
Now that Monon car, though, is going to have a ticket price that's going to be somewhat higher because of the service, and not everybody's going to be able to access the Monon car during the trip, because we want to make it that it's somewhat exclusive for those who have earned that through their ticket pricing, and obviously at the end of the trip, or perhaps beforehand, you'll be able to go ahead and look at it. So this is kind of special for those. If you want to be on the Monon car this year, get that ticket. It's going to be kind of an exclusive event.
The Jasper City Council approved a $65 price per ticket for the Monon car during its meeting earlier this week. The car is set to debut on the Spirit of Jasper in August and will be featured on this year's fall foliage excursions, 8 of them in all, which is up from the first few years of the train. The Monon car comes as the newest addition to a train that is already steeped in history. The car was mainly used as a private car by the Monon. Alan Barnett, president of the Indiana Railway Museum in French Lick, which owns the trackage that the Spirit of Jasper runs on, talks about the car's history and says the car's main use was for the one-time president of the railroad, Leonard Brown.
This car came off the Monon Railroad. It was a private car used by Mr. Brown, who was president of the railroad. They acquired it in the late 40s, early 50s. The car later on went to private ownership. And then the Monon Historical Society is now the owner of the car, and they keep it at the Railway Museum in French Lick. We occasionally bring it to Jasper to use here.
Barnett says keeping history like the Monon car alive is very important for the general public. He says private railroad cars were earlier times' equivalent to modern-day Learjets for corporate executives, and says the car provides an opportunity for people today to see what a private railroad car was like.
Most people who never had an opportunity to see what a private railroad car looked like. In their normal operation, they were only available to the very wealthy or the higher railroad officials. But having a car like this available today, people can come on board, take a look at what it was like. Railroad cars, especially private railroad cars, were like corporate Learjets today. The very wealthy, high executives all have competitive for their corporate Learjets. 50, 60 years ago, it was private railroad cars.
The trackage that the train runs on was originally part of the Southern Railroad, which was built into Jasper from Huntingburg in the 1880s and was extended to French Lick in 1907 to connect with the Monon Railroad. The branch line measures 32 miles in total from Huntingburg to French Lick, but the only stretch of that used today is the 25-mile stretch between Jasper and French Lick. Finally, tonight we bring you the debut of our new Friday segment, courtesy of the Indiana Youth Institute. With graduation approaching this weekend and schools letting out for the summer, it's not too late for kids to find that summer job. Tonight, Indiana Youth Institute CEO Bill Stanzakavich talks about how teenagers can find a job and the skills that summer employment can provide for a lifetime.
Summer teen employment. This is actually great for teens and great for Indiana. Tell me why it's important that teens have summer work.
There's actually some good news in that the Help Wanted signs are starting to show up again in the areas where teens find part-time jobs in the summer. In fact, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, we could return to opportunities for teens in the summer similar to what we had before the recession. So there are jobs out there for teenagers and they need to go get them. More important than the money, however, are the life skills and the soft skills that the kids learn. So they're looking forward to the paycheck, of course, but they also have an opportunity to learn important work skills like punctuality, dressing appropriately, getting along with their colleagues, listening to the boss, providing great customer service. And those important life lessons last them a long time. According to the Casey Foundation, kids who have part-time jobs, including in the summer, learn these soft skills and life skills, and it helps them get jobs in the future. It helps them get raises in the future. And conversely, kids who don't have these opportunities, they're more likely to be unemployed. They're less likely to be self-sufficient as adults. That's how important it is for kids who want to work as teenagers to be able to find jobs here for our state. According to Mike Hicks, an economist at Ball State, one of the top concerns of employers is they don't have enough workers with these soft skills, with these work skills. And the best time to teach these skills is when we are young. So if kids can get summer jobs, they can learn these skills, they benefit, employers benefit, and by extension, our state's entire economy can benefit as well.
And soft skills can make or break a job interview, I understand.
You know, it's one thing to have the technical expertise to do a job or the ability to learn that particular skill. But employers are looking for people who will show up on time, be great teammates and great colleagues with other people, who can take good direction from a boss, people who provide great customer service, people who are critical thinkers, proactive problem solvers. Those are intangible things that an employer can't teach. They are learned primarily through experience, and kids can gain experience through a summer job. And fortunately, it looks like there are more of those summer jobs coming up this season.
Time to start looking now.
You know, even though there are more jobs, it is still highly competitive. And, kids love to be online. You can't just look online, especially, the mom and pop stores or, the folks looking for teens to mow their lawns or watch the pets or to babysit. Kids need to network in person through their parents and other community members, through their friends, looking for the help wanted signs in the community. Kids need to get out there, and they need to do so before school ends. That'll give them their best chance of finding a job this summer.
It's also a great opportunity to be entrepreneurial.
One of the great opportunities for a lot of teenagers in the summer is to make up their own job, to hustle, to put up that sign in the grocery store that they can mow lawns, to put out the word through mom and dad's workplace or, the service club or the religious congregation that they're available to take care of the pets or to babysit. Or maybe there are other things that kids enjoy doing like landscaping or helping with cars or something like that somebody will hire a local teenager who they trust. That's a great skill to learn to show how you have capabilities and you can translate that into a marketable skill. That's the type of lesson that can last a lifetime.
Once again, our segment tonight is brought to you courtesy of Indiana Youth Institute. Coming up after the break, sunny skies are in store for the Memorial Day weekend in your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform hosted by Bill Potter. That's all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.